Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or just welcome if you're new. My name is Eboni Harris and I'm a serial entrepreneur based in Houston, Texas. New title, what? If you saw the title of this video, you know that we are talking about starting over at 40. And while I'm not 40 quite yet, I'm very close, a few months. And last year, after my 39th birthday, there wasn't a direct correlation, but literally the next month, I decided I wanted to start a brand new business and kind of start over in my career at almost 40 years old. While this journey has been scary, I'm committed to it and I'm moving forward in starting a new business after 13 years as a relationship therapist. And I just want to share some of the things that came up for me during this transition and some tips on if you decide to start over at any age. One of the main things that came up is the story that I have been telling myself and the world as I have marketed my business, as I've marketed both of my businesses actually. I've often talked about this thought of like I will always be a therapist. I've talked about, being a middle schooler and people coming to me with their issues and me watching Frasier. And while all of that is true, I don't think that should stop me from pursuing other things. I have always wanted to be a therapist. I've also always wanted to be an actress. I've also enjoyed dancing. There are lots of things that I've always enjoyed and wanted to do. Therapy just happened to be the road that I went on for a while. I thought I would be an engineer. I actually went to an engineering high school. But therapy is the road that I took and I've enjoyed it and I love it. And I get to talk about things that I absolutely have a passion for. I get to help people on a regular basis and it's great, but that is not going to stop me from starting other career paths. So just because it's something I've always wanted to do doesn't mean that that has to be my complete identity. And that's something I had to kind of wrestle with and come to terms with when it came to deciding to shift into a new career. Another question that came up for myself was, are you throwing away all of the degrees, the licensure, the certifications, the six figures in student loans? Are you completely wasting that? No. My answer is no. Obviously, there are skills that I learned throughout this whole journey as a relationship therapist. And again, I'm not getting rid of my licensure. I'm continuing to keep my license up to date and do all my CEUs. I will still be working as a therapist in some capacity and maintaining that business. This just means my public focus will move into me being a business owner more than me being a therapist. So much of my identity was being a relationship therapist. And I'll be honest, I loved it. I enjoyed it. I love telling people I was a relationship therapist. I love talking about relationships and sex and what people have going on and all of that. But I just have had to learn that that is just a part of who I am. And I want to show up more authentically. I want to show up as a whole version of me, which means I'm going to talk about the other things I enjoy as well. And I'm going to pursue those interests as well in a public way. I have to be able to explore my different interests without fear and figure out what's best for me for whichever phase of life I'm in at that time. Another huge question that came up was, will people accept the change? Will people be okay with the fact that I have been marketing myself as a relationship therapist? I have built a brand around being a relationship therapist. I have networked being a relationship therapist to death. Will people be okay with that? And in reality, I don't know the answer to that. But also, I don't care. I have to put my needs and my desires and my wants above anybody else. And so I am choosing to accept that this change is happening and I'm choosing to accept the role that I'm going to be taking. And that's the most important thing. And even if the people that are currently supporting me don't, I'll find new people that will. And I know there are a lot of people that will continue to support me. I already have comments that have said they're interested in seeing the transition I'm going through. Obviously, my family and friends and the people that I have in my personal life have already accepted that I am a random person who does all kind of things, including taking up baking in the last year. So I don't have an issue with having support, but that was a thought that came to me when I was thinking about moving into this career and part of the fear that I had in completely shifting my career. And one of the last questions, and a big question was, is it too late? Right? I've been working since I was 14 years old. I have been working in this career for the past 20 years and have been a licensed therapist for the past 13 years, right? And so the question became like, dang, like are you sure? Is it too late to try? And I know the answer. I know the answer is it's never too late. It's never too late to pursue things that you're interested in. It's never too late to making a change in your life. I have said since I started that you are the CEO of your life. You get to decide what your life looks like. And that includes taking major risk and making major changes, right? So it is never too late to try something new. It is never too late to have the life that you desire. And it's never too late to pursue something that you're passionate about. So for me, every day I want to choose what works for me in this moment, even if it's in direct conflict of what I chose the day before. Because what I know to be true is as I get new information, I am allowed to change my mind. And so the decisions I made yesterday were the best decisions for me at that time. And the decisions I make today will be the best decisions for me today. And the decisions I make tomorrow will be the best decisions for me tomorrow. And I want you to do the same thing. Don't lock yourself into a decision. Just because you spend so much time making a decision doesn't mean that that decision has to be with you for the rest of your life. You're allowed to change your mind. So if you're thinking about starting over at any age, I don't care if it's 20, 40, 60, 90, if you decide I want a different life, if you have 3 days to live and you say, I want a different life for my last 3 days, make your life different. Do what you have to do. It's not too late to create the life that you want. And the first thing you want to do is take stock of where you are now, look at where you want to be, and start moving in that direction. It doesn't take a huge change, it doesn't take a huge risk. All it takes is a slight shift to take you in a completely different direction. So I hope that was helpful. We're trying to keep the videos a little shorter. So if you have any questions, leave in the comments and I will make another video. And I will see y'all next time. That's all.